Let's go ahead and take our first call. We have Kim holding on the line. Kim, welcome to Law Call. What is your question?
Hi. My aunt was in a wreck about 2 weeks ago. She's been in the hospital ever since. And she was going down the interstate, and the tire on an 18-wheeler next to her blew, and the debris flew out from underneath the 18-wheeler, and it hit her car. And then she ended up going down an embankment, and we don't really know what to do next. We aren't sure how to file this under insurance or anything. We're hoping you can help. Thank you.
Wow. Okay, sorry about that. What advice do you have for Kim for her aunt?
There's several different things that come to mind, and I am sorry to hear about your aunt, Kim. First off, you'd want to look at the liability or the fault of the trucking company. And did their driver maintain that vehicle? Did he inspect the tires? Because he's required under the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations. Because we're talking about an 18-wheeler, not a regular passenger car like you and I drive, but an 18-wheeler has special rules, and one of them is before every trip, they're supposed to conduct a pre-trip inspection, and they're supposed to document it on a chart, on a form. And if they don't do that, that's a violation of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations. So that'd be the first thing I'd look at. But you also want to look at the service company who did any tire work, rotation of the tires, replacement of the tires. And then the third thing I'd look at is a possible products case. Why did the tire blow? Now that's a very complex case. It would be either that it was defectively made, that they didn't warn about it, or that it was made differently than the other tires. Maybe they used inferior products. Those cases are very expensive. They're very hard to prove, but those are the things that pop in my head.
Okay.
A lot of moving parts to answer that question, and it really is a good reason why they need to talk to an attorney. They need to do it sooner rather than later, because you got to preserve whatever's left of that tire today.
Exactly. And so Kim was saying they've just been overwhelmed with the injuries. It sounds like the aunt was hurt pretty badly, and so that's what they've been dealing with, and they haven't even called anyone. So who would the first call be? To their own insurance company or an attorney?
I would call an attorney, but here's what happened. They're human, and all you're worried about is your aunt and her getting better. But I'll tell you what the tire company's doing. I'll tell you what the trucking company's doing. They've already been to the scene. They've already preserved that tire. They may have inspected that tire with an expert. They already know how it happened, why it happened. They know all those facts while you're just worried about your loved one getting better. You have to catch up, and you got to get an attorney who gets his investigators and his experts out there to kind of play from behind and get this and get the facts and the witnesses locked down, because right now they're worried about the loved one in the hospital, not proving a lawsuit.
But time is of the essence. As
Absolutely.
soon as possible, do something about this. Okay,
Absolutely.
Good information, great advice.